and welcome to RulerRevolution.com. Today I'm going to show you some additional uses for the snowball ruler, and we're going to create this block here where I have done a continuous snowballing on the edges of the block. I have the snowball ruler here in front of me, and then I have 4 coordinating pieces of fabric. Now I'll go to the marking board and show you how to mark your fabric. Normally when we mark with the snowball ruler, we line the snowball ruler up to fit the size block that we have underneath, like so. But in this example, to continuously do the snowball edging, I'm going to go all the way to the end of the ruler, line it up with my edges on my corner there, and I'm going to mark my corner. And I'm just going to show you how to do one corner, but you could actually do all the corners by marking in the same regard, by sliding the ruler around to get all 4 corners marked. Next, we'll take it to the sewing machine. Here at the sewing machine, I have my large mark block and I have a smaller block. I will take the small block and just lay the larger block on top of it, just to make sure that the small block is barely peeking out from underneath the edges. And then I'm going to sew on the diagonal line that we just drew. With the diagonal line completed, the next step would be go to the sewing machine and press the square out. On the ironing surface, I'm going to take the small square and I'm going to push it out to the corner and take my iron and press it on the line that I just sewed through. Once it's pressed, then I go back to the cutting mat and I'm going to square up this corner with my squaring up ruler. And the way I'm doing that is by squaring up the ruler with the outside edges. And I'll cut off the excess. Once the excess is cut off, then I will lift the corner and cut through the back of the fabric that is also excess. And this is the way our unit looks now. To continue snowballing the corner, flip the corner over and then do another marking with your ruler. And this time I'm going to just line up my ruler, kind of eyeballing it where I want it to be. And I'm going to draw another diagonal line here with my marking utensil. And then I will go back to the sewing machine. We're back at the sewing machine and we're going to repeat what we did a while ago with the small square, and we're going to lay it under the bigger square. And again, we're just going to sew on that diagonal line that we just drew. And as we did before, we're going to go back to the ironing board and we're going to iron out the corner of this square. After sewing the little square on the corner, we'll take the square, fold it out, and again press it just like we did on the first corner. Once it's pressed, we'll trim off the excess just like we did a moment ago. And what I did is I squared up my ruler with the outside edges of my block. And then lift the corner and trim off the excess. So far, this is the unit that we have, and we have one more corner to go. For the last little corner marking, I've chosen the 6.5 inch line here to line up with my square, and I have marked a diagonal line in that location. Now I'll be going back to the sewing machine for the last time. At the sewing machine, I will repeat what we've done twice before, and that is place my large square on top of my small square, line up the sewing machine needle on the diagonal line, and sew across to the opposite edge. Once I'm completed, then I will go back to the ironing board and press out the corner.